Hey Aries, this is your July 2024 tarot reading. Let's see what this month ahead has in store for you. So there's a new moon in fellow cardinal sign Cancer, right at the top of the month on the 5th. And new moons are usually somewhat transient in nature. They represent an opening, an initiation, a portal. But this one is actually square to the North Node, which is in the sign of Aries. So the Lover is at the bottom of the deck. There's always something karmic when the nodes are involved, something meaningful, something purposeful, something very driven. A lot of you are going to be, the South Node is in Libra, sign of relationships, the North Node is in Aries, sign of individual. A lot of you are going to be coming to terms with how you show up in relationships and how you relate to others, and asking questions like, is there independence and freedom in my relationships, as well as compromise? Because opposition of the South Node to the North Node, it's always about striking a balance in between. There is also this sort of push forward for you this month, Aries, with the new moon is going to square, causing kind of a dynamic aspect of tension to propel you towards your destiny this month. At the very beginning of the month, just watch out what's happening around the 4th, 5th, and 6th of July. All right, let's start pulling some cards. We'll talk about that as we get into the reading. And what I would like to say is, if this reading resonates with you and you'd like to go deeper into the messages that are coming up, I will leave the link to the extended reading down below in the description box. All right, let's get into it. Justice card. So that's that Libra energy, right? That is about karma. It's about consequence. It's about choice and right action. And there's something very meaningful for you happening this month. And it's actually happening for you now as you see this. This is unfolding at the present moment and around the beginning of July. Very important decisions to be made. Okay. 6 of Cups. I mean, can we get any more indicators for karma right off the back? So for me, the 6 of Cups is about past lives, or it's about our childhood, or it's about the past in some way. Right, okay, so that's going to be important to look into. We also have the Page of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords. Then we have Ace of Swords, as well as the 8 of Cups in the reverse. Knight of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, Knight of Wands, so 2 knights, and the 10 of Cups. What a beautiful card for the outcome of your month. So July is obviously going to be ending on a really big high for you, and I'm excited to see how we get there. So I pulled 10 cards. In the extended, I will pull another 10 cards. That's how that will work. Okay. Bottom of the deck, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. So in terms of your finances, which are really just displaying here at the bottom of the deck for me, I would suggest that things are improving significantly for you recently. And if not, it's really just around the corner. I think this has been something for a lot of you, that from around the 21st of June, there was some sort of a influx or some sort of a confirmation that you were going to be receiving some sort of a bonus, or somebody in your family was going to be receiving a bonus or doing really well. And it's almost like when you're up, when you're up, everybody's up, or when somebody in your life is up, they kind of bring you into the fold, and everybody is blessed with the energy of increased money, increased income, increased resources. And it just feels very lucky around you in terms of that area of life. I'm not seeing that here in this spread so much. We might see it in the extended, but for now, the only major arcana card that's here, and it's the first one out, so it's going to be pretty important, is the Justice card. Okay, so major arcana cards are related to our soul growth, and this one in particular is, well, we see the scales of justice here. We see the sword of truth. We see the red cape of, maybe that's right action, righteousness. And the crown, of course, is wisdom. Okay, so you are being brought to this place in your life right now, or you're on this timeline, you're at this precipice or point where your point of view matters, where how you see the world and how you move about the world is not under scrutiny. And if anything, it's just you you kind of encouraging yourself to be better. But there is something to be said for having to do the right thing at the moment. And that comes up with people in your family, doing the right thing by others, doing the right thing by your siblings, by your old friends from school, by the children that are around you, in-laws, and anybody else that comes into the fold for you when you hear the word family. Family doesn't have to be those who share our strands of DNA, but it can be chosen too. So doing the right thing by others will result in your happiness increasing, in your sense of belonging just really being highlighted to you, and your sense of like people appreciating you, people seeing you, people wanting you and needing you. That's the 10 of Cups. And this isn't from a place of any kind of a imbalanced power dynamic at all. This is in a place, coming from a place of respect, coming from a place of love. So I really like to see that you tend to make the right choices this month. Now, there is quite an important decision hanging in the balance. It's, I guess, waiting for you to do the right thing on this. Is there somebody you need to visit, Aries? Is there somebody that you should call to see? Is there an old friend that might be coming to visit, or you're going to visit them? Maybe it's time to catch up and see how that person is doing right now. What happened recently for you, the Ace of Swords? Some of you have been, well, basically there was a roadblock cleared for you. And there was a lot of clearing the air with the Ace of Swords. It's that sort of truth from justice, but because this is coming up in the past energy and it's up in the air, I feel like there was an ice-breaking moment recently. The air was cleared, there was a fresh sort of start, and the Aces are a beginning energy. And a lot of you got information that you needed, a letter, a correspondence, you got that phone call. It was a lot about affirmation and hearing a yes recently that has cleared the way and paved the way for you to be able to use the discernment that the Justice card is calling for you to do. Now remember, major arcana cards don't come up unless we call them in on a evolutionary level. So in terms of this showing up, it's because you're ready. It's because you want it on some level, even if that's subconsciously. But the Justice card is here to say that the decisions you're making now are important. They have consequences. Not every decision has consequences, right? You know, what kind of flowers should I buy? Not usually the most consequential, unless there's somebody with an allergy. So just be mindful when you're buying pets or buying flowers that, you know, they're suitable for pets and children. And those are kind of things just to be thinking more and having more awareness. You know, Aries, I have a lot of Aries in my chart. My chart ruler is Venus, which is placed in the sign of Aries on my descendant, and my Mercury is also in Aries. So sometimes I think that we can embody the Aries energy of impulsivity. So the Justice card is just asking you not to be impulsive this month, to think things through and think things through carefully. The outcome is pretty sweet at the end of July. You're thriving. This is one of the happiest moments of the year for you at the end of the month. So I mean, I think that you're going to be doing a great job with all those discerning choices. And since everything was cleared up for you, Ace of Swords, since you heard that yes or validation, or since things just sort of swiftly moved on from where they were, Six of Swords here at the subconscious, there was a real need to let go, move on, clear the past, leave things in the back view here. And the Swords cards that are in the reading today, the Ace of Swords and the Six of Swords, well, swords are about how we think and our mental constructs and or like faculties, and how we process information and all of those sort of things, and how we analyze and how we just like basically think and muse things over, mull things over in our head, and muse, I guess. But the Ace of Swords and the Six of Swords is about a recent clearing that's happened, and this took place for you pretty obviously. You saw it happen. You were like, I'm glad that that's cleared up, and I'm glad that that's a restart, and we're moving on from that. What happened in the subconscious was really, really powerful, because the subconscious settings here in the Six of Swords actually influences your present energy of the Justice card, soul growth. It actually also influences your Page of Pentacles conscious thinking, how you're thinking and how you're acting and how you're behaving consciously, which actually influences this amazing, beautiful outcome at the end of the month. This is a big, beautiful scenario tied up in a bow for you, full of love, full of harmony, full of happiness. And where is it all stemming from? You could say, well, you know, I'm just glad that that got cleared up out of the way. Yes, you could say that it's because of your wisdom and your discernment and the choices you're making for yourself and for nobody else. You could say it's because of your generosity and your kind heart and your way with people and your warmth and your service and your two sixes, three sixes, six of wands, desire to make things harmonious and balanced and fair and right and beautiful. Yeah, you could say it's down to all of that. I have a feeling that the Six of Swords plays a really integral role though. The subconscious mind now is set to the sort of wavelength, if you will, of I'm letting go. I'm moving on. The Six of Swords, we know, comes after the Five of Swords. And if we know anything about the Five of Swords, we know that it is card of fuckery and trickiness and tension and arguing and we don't like the Five of Swords all the time. It has its own medicine and purpose, but to see the Six of Swords, we know we're coming subconsciously from a place of something that was a mindfuck, basically, or even like, what is that thing? Mind field sort of a thing. Like it was just very tense. It was very volatile in a certain way. Now that the subconscious mind is at peace because you've let go and released and moved on very gracefully, there's just no need to hold that. You can really manifest these amazing outcomes that are going to come through at the end of the month. I might even pull another card to clear up the Ten of Cups when we get to that point, because it looks, I'm really excited for you to see what that could be about. And obviously we'll get into it deeper into the extended. Okay, so we talked about the well, it's not an eclipse, but funny I should say that. The new moon square to the nodes. There is an eclipse in the Eight of Cups. Okay, and it's funny that I should say eclipse, because we know that when full and new moons are eclipses, and this happens, you know, roughly 4 times a year, we know that that's because the nodes of destiny, the south node of the karmic past, north node of the collective or personal future, are involved with the moons and the lunation cycles. Now, they're not eclipses because it's not in a conjoined configuration in the same sign, but it is in a square. So it does have like a really, really mini little bitty eclipse energy tied up in this particular new moon on the 5th of July. This is going to be particularly impactful for people with placements in Aries from around 9 to 14 degrees of the sign. And that's also then going to be influential for those with 9 to 14 degrees of placements in the other cardinal signs, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer. So the Page of Pentacles, something comes up pretty soon. And I think you're already thinking about this because it's in the conscious position. You are craving some sort of a new experience or something. You want to strike up a conversation on something, or you want to talk to somebody about something. You're encouraged to reach out. And I think that that's the right thing to do because, well, we kind of went over that, because your mind is at peace now. So your communication is going to be clearer because you've taken your time and weighed up your options and become very wise and thoughtful and considerate about what you're going to do. It's important to be measured when we see the Justice card. So you have something to say, you have something to approach, and it's really been on your mind. And now is the time to kind of communicate that, I think. Whoever you need to speak to, get it out there, Aries, because you're in a really clear, insightful, like you've had the download with the Ace of Swords as the eureka moment, the breakthrough, the realization, and you can almost see into the future at this time with the Justice card. You're like, I know if I do this, my outcome is X, or if I go that way, my outcome is Y. So you've kind of like really taken that measured, rational, and pretty mentally disciplined approach where you've been patient, where you haven't been reckless. So, I mean, there's this warmth and kindness around you at the moment. There's family around you, friends. There's people that are, they love you. They don't have to be children that are displayed here. They don't even have to be family. Like I said, it could be colleagues. It could be somebody of a member of staff that looks after you, and it really helps you feel really safe and secure. So as we move into the point of the month after around the 7th of July, the Eight of Cups in reverse comes through. Usually when we look at the Eight of Cups, we see someone moving on, right? We see somebody embarking forwards onto a journey, leaving something behind, the cups. When we reverse that, I often see them coming back. So you're returning from a journey, you are returning to a place, you're giving something another chance, and you're coming back around to something. We could see with this energy for you, somebody returning to you this month, somebody reaching back out from the past, the Six of Cups. Does that mean that's an ex? It could be an old friend, it could be a family member, a long lost cousin sending you a chain mail or something. I'm seeing these really like nostalgic sort of energies coming through with the new moon in Cancer square to the nodes for you, Aries. The other thing that's going to happen from around the 7th onwards is this kind of recall to your purpose, to your mission. And it's not super intense. Like I said, new moons are pretty transient, but with the square to the nodes and the north node of destiny being in your sign at the moment, for the rest of the year, in fact, there is this like 5th, 6th, 7th onwards, there's just this little mini portal that opens where you can actually see where you've been pushed. Squares are tense, so it might feel a little bit challenging even, but it's there to sort of propel you forward towards a goal, towards your mission and purpose. And for many of you, it actually might be picking back something up, or picking up something again. And you're kind of like, okay, I dropped that down. I lost interest. I started it, I didn't finish it. Yeah, this sounds like Aries Mercury to me. But this could also just be like about something about your purpose or your goals, your motivations being revisited, and you kind of bring that through a large part of the middle of the month. You're like, let me see where I'm interested there. Let me see if there's anything I can add to that or come back to that. But there also could be people or ideas or visions coming back to you, and they're meaningful. I would pay attention. The Eight of Cups to me is the most major like minor arcana card in the deck because it's got the eclipse, because it's something to do with soul searching in the upright. It's still soul searching in the reversal, only this time you're not leaving or abandoning or moving on from, you're coming back to, or something is returning to you. Okay, let's see how things are going on. What are your hopes and fears at the moment? What is the advice for the month, and how are things looking in the environment around you? Well, the Knight of Pentacles is a message from your highest self at the moment. Whatever your mission is, and it is going to be highlighted to you, especially around the 5th of the month, whatever your mission is in this lifetime, and there's going to be 100, 200, a million little things that are part of getting you to your ultimate journey or destiny. For example, my North Node of Destiny in this incarnation is in my 4th house of home and living situation and family and legacy in that sort of way, not in my career. And sometimes on a new moon square to the nodes, I might just find myself cleaning the house or looking up my family lineage. Does that mean that that's been my ultimate purpose, that one day of doing chores and housework and preparing the home? No, but these are little incremental insights as to where you're going to derive a lot of fulfillment. For some of you, it could be making money in this lifetime. For some of you, if it's a North Node in the 5th house, it's just about having fun. For some, it could be in the 7th house and you're learning how to get into partnership and learning how to trust. And for others, of course, it will be in the 10th or 11th house, to do with career, to do with aspirations and visions and goals. Whatever it may be, the Nine of Pentacles is saying to you, look at the house where your North Node lies. If you're not sure about that, drop me a comment and I'll definitely easily help you figure that out really, really briefly. But the Knight of Pentacles The Knight of Pentacles tells you just to keep going, right? To keep rolling up the sleeves and chopping the wood and carrying the water step by step. This is a methodical approach. This is a slow moving energy, but we do have the fast moving Knight here as well, the Knight of Rods in your hopes position. So I know you're hopeful that this will start to pick up in pace soon. And indeed it will, especially if you do the thing where it's just like small gains leading to like a bigger sort of an outcome is basically what I'm seeing here. When I see two knights in a reading though, I can tell that this month is one where there is a lot of action taken. Knights are about movement and they're very ambitious out of all the court cards. So you are in that embodied, ambitious, motivated and purposeful energy this month. So it's a great time to make hay when the sun shines. Take it slowly though. You don't need to rush this. That's the main problem, because this is a hope and it's a fear, the Knight of Wands. And you might, I see patience here. I see the past. I see consideration, and I see reflection, self-reflection. I see that you've been waiting to speak on something until you had the correct information or insight in terms of how you see it, in terms of how the truth lays with you and your objective truth. So you're kind of fearful that you'll blurt something out, Knight of Rods. You're kind of fearful maybe that you will act in an impulsive way. So just call in this Knight of Pentacles energy from the highest self. Take your time. You're doing it the right way, but you are going to experience movement this month. I have a couple of cards here for like travel. I have a couple of cards here for a transit, a journey. So there could be a journey taking place, and that could be a return to home, or returning something or bringing something somewhere else. That could also just be a solo trip, a solo venture, taking time to explore your world around you. But there certainly seems to be a energy of motivation, ambitious, and taking action nights towards a goal that's very important to you, and it's in alignment. The Six of Wands, yeah, okay, so this is in your environment and it's very celebratory. It's, you know, I think that people are really leaning into their appreciation for you. We'll pull another card and clear up this Ten of Cups with it, but people are leaning in and into their appreciation for you. They're starting to really celebrate. This is a card of celebration and victory and applause. It's also a card of popularity and visibility, and people are seeing you now and seeing what you can do and believing in you and giving you the validation that you deserve. It's not that you need it, because it feels right for you to do this. And as I said that, it was 22 minutes and 22 seconds on my recording, which 222 or 2222 is a sequence of alignment. So you don't even need the applause. It's nice to get it. Let's not lie. The Six of Wands is saying in your environment, you're really being hyped up and people are celebrating you or celebrating those who you care about. There's a lot to be said about who you care about this month, and almost like a selflessness on your part, Aries, to kind of just really want to do what's best for other people. And people are really impressed by that, I think. So let's clear up the Ten of Cups. By the end of July, there is a emotional celebration in store for you. You are thrilled, you're delighted, you're possibly radiating happiness, to go as far as to say that. The Ten of Cups, it's a 10, so we're ending at the end of a cycle. And it's a great one because it's saying that, you know, a situation that had like a long and drawn out emotional quality, this could be something to do with a relationship issue or some way of something that had been going on for you on an emotional level for a long time. And now it's reaching this happy ending or culmination in a successful way. The cup cards that we see, the Six of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and the Ten of Cups here this month are really about building 6 to 8 to 10 in emotional well-being and happiness and joy. I dropped my Knight of Pentacles. So another reminder from the highest self, just don't drop the ball on the to-do list or the sort of like what you're doing step by step, the incremental, sometimes the boring, okay? That's what that's a little message about. Let's close this reading with a clarifier for the Ten of Cups at the end of the month. If you're joining me on Patreon, we're going to get deeper into all of this reading, and that link will be found down below, like I said. But if you're just staying tuned for this reading and you just feel called to watch this, I really want to thank you for watching, and I would love if you would subscribe, hit the like button, leave me a comment if you want to chat. I always like to read those. Have a wonderful month, Aries. Another queen. No, not another queen, just a queen. A queen. Yes, the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so wherever the Capricorn area of your chart is, it's going to be opposite this new moon in Cancer, right? And to me, this is also an area of life where you're going to have enhanced happiness and cultivating well-being and harmony and joy. Okay, so the blessings and happiness that comes through at the end of the month are very full spectrum, and they include your material prosperity, your physical well-being, your emotional joy, or your emotional well-being and joy. The Queen of Pentacles really knows how to take care of themselves and to take care of others around them. So this is all just a beautiful end to the month where something could be blessed in terms of your family life or your home and living situation, or in terms of your sacred space, like where you feel at peace and where you feel safe and secure. And that could be in the world or the cosmos at large. You just feel at home here and you feel good and you feel protected. And I'm really excited for you. This looks like a beautiful end to the month, all coming from your ability to let go, to leave the past in the past, and to say that you can take the high road on something. Beautiful energy. Keep an eye out for symbols that might indicate that the Justice card is archetypally at play in your reality. Red robes, symbols of swords or the scales, or even some sort of a theme of justice playing out. Law and order, maybe. I'll talk to you soon, Aries. Bye-bye.